we're gonna move into this mini training that I wanted to hold here. And it's about the how to deal with the aftermath, okay. How to deal with the aftermath after, once you've gone through, I don't even remember my title here, how to deal with the aftermath once you've gone through a traumatic period, a traumatic event, a traumatic phase. It doesn't have to be traumatic, but something extremely difficult. Okay? This is what I want to focus on, because once we're going through something traumatic, once we're going through something extremely difficult, for some people it's going to be traumatic, and for some people it's just going to be painful and difficult, and it's not necessarily going to be trauma. That's why I'm making that distinction. But once something life altering or life changing is happening in our lives, and it's kind of urgent. If it's urgent, it's just like super fast, and you don't really have time to catch up with the process. You just have to navigate it, okay? And a divorce is one example. It could also be that you lose your job, or it could be a death. It could be an accident. It can be a shift in your health, something that you need to readjust to. In the beginning, things are moving at a specific speed, and sometimes we can't really control the speed of it, how fast it's moving, and sometimes we cannot even control. And many times, well, obviously in this situation, we cannot control what's really happening. Like, it just is what it is. Many times, this is what I'm talking about. And so we kind of have to go with, like, we have to go along with it. We have to adjust. We need to take care of business. We need to find, okay, so how am I going to navigate this divorce? Or how am I going to, what kind of new job will I get? What kind of, new job or new career will I look for? Or how will I try to establish, a new clientele if you lost clients or investors, whatever the case may be? How am I going to navigate this shift in my business? Or if you lost a lot of money, how are you going to navigate that? So you kind of have to adjust to the traumatic thing that happens, or the change, the difficult change in your life that happens. Like, maybe you found out, God forbid, you had a serious health issue, or someone you loved passed away. So you're navigating something new, and in the beginning it tends to be kind of intense, right? It's a lot of emotions, and you have to take care of things. Maybe you have to arrange a funeral. Maybe you have to figure out what you're gonna do with your living situation and papers in regards to the divorce. Looking for a new job, you have to upgrade your resume and look and think about where you're gonna live, and it's like a lot of stress. A lot of stress. So when we're navigating something traumatic or something extremely difficult, our autonomic nervous system is operating from like our sympathetic stage. And if you don't know about the different states or stages of our autonomic nervous system, how it functions, I have done a training on that, a free training, or 3 parts, 3 trainings in this community, in Self-Carved, that you can check out so you can learn more about your autonomic nervous system. But basically the sympathetic is fight or flight. Because think about it, you've gone through something traumatic, you've gone through something difficult, you have to use all the energy you can to figure out what you're gonna do. And that tends to be like stressful, anxious, angry energy, okay? Because you need to get things done. You don't really have time to grieve. You don't really have time to process. But if you are a self-aware person like me, which you most likely are because you're here with me, and you have the tools, like you have a toolbox, you have different modalities, you have different strategies. Maybe you've done coaching you've been getting coached, or you've been getting coaching or therapy for years, or you've gone to counseling, whatever the case may be. You have everything it takes. So as you're navigating this change, you are meditating, you are praying, you're doing qigong, you're journaling, you're going out for a walk, you're eating healthy, you're working out, you are applying different strategies for your mindset, you are applying different, again, tools and modalities to release emotions from your body. And then after a while, you just realize, oh my gosh, like I'm doing this and I'm not really feeling a change. Maybe I have a moment or a day where I feel more calm, but most of the time it's like stress, it's hectic. And then you don't know when your new reality is going to start. And if the new reality doesn't start soon, then again, you're operating from like your nervous system is in sympathetic and you're stressing and you're anxious about when the change is going to happen, how the change is going to impact you. So then you start feeling anxious and worried and all these things, and the new reality has not yet happened. Eventually, when the new reality kicks in, for example, like the divorce goes through, or you have completed the funeral, or now you have gotten a new job, and whether that job is better or worse than the previous one, you've moved in with a partner after many years of being single, you've adjusted to the shift in health, whatever the case may be. Again, it doesn't matter what the event is. You just start, it's very common, and this is the aftermath of what initially happened. It's extremely common to almost, I wouldn't say feel worse, but to feel like blah, like literally blah. And here, you either kind of stay in the sympathetic state, or you can drop below toward the dorsal vagal state, which is more so even darker. And here you're slowing down, but you're starting to feel extremely sad. You're starting to feel a little depressed. So you may be going through seasonal depression. You don't feel like you want to do anything. You don't recognize yourself. You don't want to be around people, and things are starting to turn gray. Okay? And so not a lot of people think about that. Even though you may have the tools as you're navigating something challenging, something traumatic, something difficult, that applying the tools themselves is not as important as being regulated. And when you are operating under a lot of stress, the tools can bring about more stress.